Sis! Welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Kathy McHale. What up, Kathy? Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it so much, and if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so we have lots to talk about. We left off yesterday with the feeds down for the Den of Temptation, and they were down for about 2.5 hours. So I guess during that time they have everybody go into the den. They find out who got the temptation. Well, the person that got it finds out, and then I guess they have to do the curse sometimes too, and that's like another trip to the den. But this time I don't know, I don't think they did that. But anyway, we'll get there. So we know that this week's temptation was the ring of replacement, which means that that person can swap with one of the 3 players chosen to compete in the power veto competition. So just to clarify, you can't pick like a nominee or the HOH to not compete in the POV. It has to be one of the extra players that was chosen. So you compete in the competition instead of that person. And it can only be used once, but it is available for like the whole game. So you can save it for as long as you want. But I guess it wouldn't really be effective anymore once everybody starts playing in the POV competitions. So when they get down to like final 6, it doesn't matter. So you gotta use it before that. But that's a pretty sweet advantage to have. So when the feeds come back, the house guests are trying to figure out who got the temptation. They know for sure that somebody accepted it because they found out that 3 people are gonna be cursed. They don't know what it is yet. But when they went into the DOT, they saw these voodoo dolls that looked like each of the house guests, and some of them had pins in them, some of them didn't. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if like the person that got the temptation was like putting the pins in the dolls and that's how they figured out who's gonna be cursed. We'll find out soon. Minnie! Okay, distraction. So Raven was listening in on Jess and Cody talking in the Apple Lounge because everybody's trying to figure out who got this temptation, and most of the house guests were relieved when she reported that Jess and Cody were talking about potentially being cursed, which means that they probably did not get the temptation. So they were like, oh, it's not them, thank God. Alright, you know, honestly though, I don't want to see Cody go this week because he brings the drama and I'm all for the fun feeds. Hashtag team fun feeds. So I want to see that back and forth, and it's going to be kind of like, when Cody leaves, if Cody leaves. So then Paul's telling Ramses, look man, this is a good week to put yourself up on the block because don't forget, Ramses has to put himself up as a result of the last curse. He's got the next 3 weeks to do that. So Paul's telling him everybody's on board with the plan to backdoor Cody this week. So if you're up there, it's all good. If you're up there with Cody, it's all good. And if not, if the veto is not used, Josh is going to be the new target. So you'll be fine. I'm not totally sure that Ramses would be safe up on the block against Josh. I don't know, I feel like people might go into it saying like, yeah, I'm gonna vote out Josh, and then at some point they might have a change of heart and go ahead and vote out Ramses instead, because a lot of people are sketched out by him, and he was the scapegoat this week for Kevin. When Kevin voted for Christmas to stay, now everybody thinks that Ramses betrayed his best friend Jillian and voted her out. So things aren't looking great for Ramses right now, but I guess this is probably one of the safer weeks for him to do it. So anyway, Christmas and Jason have a long chat in the Apple Lounge. She wants to hear what the hell happened with that vote this week, because he was kind of giving her the impression that he was going to vote to keep her, and then he didn't. He voted her out. So she wants to hear his side of the story now that all the dust has settled, or cleared, or whatever that phrase is, from the eviction vote. So Jason's like, do you feel like I directly told you that I was gonna vote to keep you last week? And Christmas is like, I want to hear your side of the story before I answer that question. Like, believe me, she is not afraid to share her opinions, but she wants to wait until after he's explained himself. So Jason is like, well, Paul and Mark kept riding my ass like Zorro, his words, and he kept telling them honestly that he was voting for Jillian, but they would not let up. So he was like, wow, I really need to get these guys off my back. So he started saying like, oh yeah, I'm solid. Like he wasn't outright saying I'm voting for Christmas to stay, but he was telling them like, yeah, it's good, we're good, it's all good. So then Jason's like, I didn't want to vote you out. He feels like he had to because they were kind of on different sides of the house. She was with the cool kids, he's with the outsiders, and he felt like Jillian would have been a definite vote for him in the future. Christmas, he's not so sure. So he felt like he really needed to keep the person that was on his side and take out an insider, a cool kid, if you will. So Christmas is like, yeah, I get that, but I don't like how you tried to play that gray area last week. She really wishes that he could have just been honest with her, because there were people who came to her and said like, listen, I think you're really cool, but I already made a promise to Jillian and I'm not gonna go back on that. Like Ramses, but then they didn't believe that he actually followed through with it. Yeah. So anyway, she said she would have been cool if he had done that and she would have respected it, but he didn't. So she wasn't happy about that. So then, I mean, they repeat these few points multiple times. I mean, they're both saying the same thing over and over again, and then they finally move on. So Christmas is telling Jason, like, you're not a target this week. I want you to know that. I hope you believe me. And Jason's like, yeah, I do. So then Jason's saying, neither of us are in showmance. We should be working together. You know, like, why are we gonna work with those showmance people? They suck. Like, no. And Christmas is like, yeah, I don't want to be in the jury house with them. I want to be in the jury house with fun people like you. So Christmas is telling him, like, I'll look out for you if you help me get to jury. She's really set on trying to get to jury. So he's like, yeah, let's do it. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so then Cody and Alex were chatting in the money bedroom, and Alex is like, here's what's gonna happen this week. She knows that she's going up on the block, so she tells Cody, I'm gonna be going up on the block as a pawn. I'm gonna win that veto and pull myself off. I like the confidence. And Cody is gonna go up. That's what she tells him, and he's like, yeah, I kind of figured that's what was gonna happen. So Cody tells her, if I win the veto and Jess is somehow safe, I'll use it on you to save you, which is a really nice thought. That's a nice thing to say, but I don't see Jess being safe. Can you imagine if Cody won the POV, used it on Alex, and then Jess went up in her place? That'd be freaking nuts, but I don't think he'd fall into that trap. Okay, so then they were also talking about how Paul's groupies were all helping him during the HOH competition because they don't have the guts to take out Cody themselves, which is true, but at the same time it was kind of weird because Alex was definitely helping Paul a little bit during that competition. Like, she was definitely okay with him winning too. She was actively trying to help him by letting him cut her in the line a few times. So it's just funny that they were talking about that. But they also agree they're both sick of Elena and Dominique, who just worry about their makeup all day. They're just getting dragged along. And Cody says if he sticks around and he wins HOH, he's not gonna go after all the big guys like everybody thinks. He's gonna target people like Elena and Dominique. Oh shit, I would love to see that. That would be so freaking entertaining. Again, I would love to see Cody stay just because of the drama. And I think it would be really funny if he went after them. Okay, moving on. Christmas was up in the HOH bathroom with Paul. She reveals to him that she got the temptation. I'm sorry to leave you guys hanging like that and just tell you that now, but I wanted you to find out the way we found out on the feeds. So yeah, she tells him, he's super excited about it, and he's like, yeah, tell me all about it. So Christmas says, well, it's not even that great of a temptation for me because I broke my foot, so it's like not really that great. And he's like, all right, let's hear it. So she explains the whole swapsies situation, and Paul's just like, what are you talking about? That's freaking perfect. He says, if Cody gets picked to play in this power veto competition, she can just swap him out and then she can throw the competition. That sucks though, to blow it in the first opportunity in the first week like that. Like, that would be really lame. But Christmas says, yeah, I guess that's true. She doesn't know what the curse is yet, but she got to pick the people. She says that she picked Cody, Jess, and Ramses. We'll see. So then she also thanks Paul for campaigning so hard for her last week. She didn't realize that he was even doing that. And he says, yo girl, I got your back. Okay. So then, it was a busy day yesterday. They also had nominations, and Ramses went ahead and nominated himself because of the curse, and Paul, as planned, nominated Alex and Josh. And just to remind you guys, if you forgot, the plan is actually to backdoor Cody. And then Josh would be like a secondary target if that didn't happen. So then, after the nominations, you can't make this shit up, Paul pulls Ramses into the Apple Lounge. Elena, Raven, Dominique, and Mark are all in there. And Paul asks Ramses to throw the power of veto. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm sorry, but no. That's ridiculous. So he's asking him to do this because if Ramses wins and pulls himself off the block, there's not going to be a replacement nominee. They can't go ahead with this backdoor Cody plan. Like, it's not going to happen. It's like last season when they had the roadkill, and you know, when there's a third nominee and they don't replace that nominee, it's just the two that were already there. That's what would happen. So he's like, oh man, you gotta throw this thing. You need to trust everybody because we have your back. Don't ruin this plan. You're not gonna go home as long as Cody's up there. So Ramses tells them, like, okay, I'm banking on you guys, like, don't let me down. If that was me, I would be like, oh hell no, I'm sorry, but if you're up on that block and you throw the power veto competition, not good. So I don't know if Ramses is actually cool with that and he's for real. If he is, that's really dumb. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. So then, the next curse begins. Woo! This week it's costumes. So Cody, Jessica, and Jason are dressed like Vetoes for the week, for one whole week. Okay, this is why before I was like, I don't know, because I thought that Christmas said that she picked Ramses, not Jason. I don't know if there's some sort of thing like you can't be cursed 2 times in a row. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just heard wrong, but I could have sworn she said Ramses and not Jason. So in addition to wearing these costumes, by the way, the costumes, they have like the full outfit. They have shoes, well not shoes, but like shoe coverings. They got a headpiece, and I believe they're gonna have a special outfit for outside or like in the pool or whatever. So they can take it off when they shower or sleep. But in addition to wearing these costumes, as they move around the house, they have to hop. Can you imagine how exhausting that is? The only time they can stop hopping is like obviously when they're sleeping and stuff, or when they're standing on these lily pads that have been placed around the house. I don't think they're even allowed to sit down in chairs and stuff. Like if they want to sit down in a room and they're not like in their bed, they have to sit on the lily pad. That sucks. Okay, they're gonna get a lot of exercise though. So Jason was having a lot of fun with it. Jess and Cody were being pretty good sports, and I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of frog on frog action this week. I mean, Jess and Cody cannot keep their hands off of each other. It's a bit much. But anyway, Kevin and Ramses took this opportunity to dress up like Whistle Nut because Jason wasn't in his clothes, so they put on the Whistle Nut jersey and the cowboy hat. They were having a lot of fun with that. And then a little while later, Kevin also put on Ramses' kangaroo onesie and he was hopping around. How amazing would it be if Kevin had to wear a costume at some point this season? That would be the best feeds ever. Okay, so then last night, Paul and Christmas were chatting in the HOH room, and he's like, I haven't told anyone that you have the temptation, but I wanted to let you know. People are starting to suspect that it was you, just going off of who was cursed this week. I mean, yeah, Jason did help break Christmas's foot and then not vote for her to stay, so I could see where she would be upset with him. And then they're talking about the possibilities for this temptation, how they can use it. So Christmas says, yeah, if Cody gets picked for this next power of veto, she'll use the ring of replacement and take him out of there. Damn, that would be so messed up. Cody would get screwed over by yet another twist. Like, oh wow. But they agree it would really suck if Cody and Jess both got picked for the competition. There wouldn't really be anything that they could do about that. I mean, she could still use the ring on one of them, but somebody would still be in there. Okay, so then let's talk about today. This is another packed day. They had the have-not selection early this morning, so Paul got to pick 4 people to be have-nots for the week. So Jess and Cody already moved into the have-not room. They slept in there last night, so they volunteered to be have-nots. Cody's been eating slop, like, already this whole time, so he's prepared for it. He's ready. So then Paul's like, let's make it the whole frog family, and he picks Jason. Jason didn't really volunteer, but he went along with it. And then one more spot to put, you know, one more seat to fill, spike bed to fill in that have-not room. So Matt ends up volunteering, and the have-not temptation is in play again. So Jason was the first one to go to the HOH and request the key, but he doesn't get to pick the spike until a little bit later. We will get there. So then, and a little while later, they had the Power Veto player pick. This is the moment of truth, guys. This is where we find out if Cody will be able to play in the POV or not. So, turns out that Jason is hosting. We know that Paul, Ramses, Josh, and Alex are all competing. And then the 2 extra players are Matt and Elena. So Cody and Jess did not even get picked, so Christmas did not use her ring of replacement. She's gonna save that in her back pocket. All right. So Paul and his crew were pretty happy with that Veto selection. He's still encouraging everyone to go to Ramses and be like, it's okay, man, we got your back. Feel free to just throw this competition. And he's still like, yes, I'm gonna, why did I just say yes? I think I was gonna say yeah and yes, and it came out at the same time. So he said, yes, I'm gonna stick to my word. You don't have to worry. Ramses, don't do that. It's really dumb. Okay, so then Paul and his crew still find things to complain about. They are pissed that Jason has been talking to Cody and Jess so much. I mean, they're all frogs and they're all have-nots. Give him a break, damn. But they agree that he has no idea how this game works. He's putting a huge target on his back by talking to them, which is true, but at the same time, like, they're all human beings. I don't like how people get isolated so much when they're the targets. So anyway, Jason's own allies are freaking out about this too. Alex and Kevin were talking and they're just like, damn, he's really messing things up for himself. And they don't want that to reflect back on them. They don't want to be guilty by association. So Alex says that she's gonna warn him one more time, and then after that, it's out of her hands. So I believe she did end up talking to Jason, I think in the storage room, and she told him, like, look, man, people are freaking out. You need to back away from Cody and Jess, or you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm just talking to them, like, we're all human. And he's like, I don't know. He's trying to defend it. And again, like, on a human level, yes, but on a game level, he is really screwing himself over. So Alex is like, I get it, but you need to watch out for that a bit. You need to distance yourself from them. Alright, so then Jason goes for the have-not temptation. He chooses the purple side, and he was wrong. Ugh, which means he's gonna be a have-not for 2 weeks in a row. That freaking sucks. Oh my god. Alright, so then shortly after that, it's time for the Power Veto competition. Again, we've got Paul, Alex, Josh, Matt, Elena, and Ramses all competing. Jason is the host. And yeah, the feeds haven't come back yet. They've been down since about 4 p.m. So if you guys want to check back later, I will post the winner in the info box for the spoiler. Let me know who you guys are rooting for. Do you think they're going to follow through with this backdoor Cody plan, or is something nuts going to happen? Let me know, and until tomorrow, much love.